Yeah. It's doing the knowledge, right? The railroad, the double R, railroad, also standing for resurrection. Like when you see the railroad, the cross sign, like Ashraf Kwesi taught us, the X represents the resurrection of the God. So you know when you so-called die or whatever, you actually transcend. You're actually resurrecting. You know what I'm saying? You're resurrecting. Like that's why, like when Bone Thugs and Harmony made that song Crossroads, see you at the crossroads, you won't be lonely. You know, symbolically, the crossroads being, you know, like when you so-called die or whatever, and you make that transition. It ain't gonna be all spooky. Like, you know, like you see in the movies, people go to some fake ass heaven and all that shit. But your physical body gonna break down and you're gonna go back into the ethers from which we came. So you see right there, see the double R with the X, you know what I'm saying? That represents the resurrection. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you see the things come down, when the train is coming through, the gates go down, the gates close, and then when the train passes through, the gates open up, similar to the ovaries of the woman. How the ovary is closed, but once the semen penetrates the egg, then it opens up and life starts to resurrect. You know what I'm saying? That X representing the resurrection. You know what I'm saying? And also, you know, the X represents the unknown. So if you haven't manifested your seed in a woman, then you don't know that woman. You know how we be like, yo, you know her? You be like, yeah, I know her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, back in the days we used to, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like you know that woman, like you had relations with her, so you know her. You know what I'm saying? You cause a resurrection in her. You know what I'm saying? You cause her gates to open, whether it was vaginally or through the ovaries, you know what I'm saying, planting the seed and, you know, so forth. So, you know, we dealing with resurrection. That's the science. Just like so-called Christ, you know what I'm saying? Christ is really the Ka rest. Christ, the Ka rest. The Ka is the body, the spiritual body, and the rest means to rise. So Ka rest or Christ means the rising of the spiritual body. So when so-called Christians be like Christ, you know what I'm saying, and you start to come into know yourself to be the Christ, you come into the resurrection of yourself, the resurrection of the God that's within you. You know what I'm saying? Because you are the God. And you got to resurrect that DNA, that greatness that's locked within your DNA. You got to resurrect that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, here I go. Oh, look at that UPS truck speeding with no plates on the truck. You notice how that's another jewel that Walter Bay dropped. How the UPS trucks or the mail trucks in general, they don't got no license plate, because the mailman has the right to travel. Just as really everybody has the right to travel. That's why you see Moors getting pulled over by the police and they let them go or whatever, and they got their own plates, they got their own private plates on their vehicle and all that. Because, not their vehicle, their private conveyance, because they're not operating a vehicle, which is a commercial conveyance, a commercial, you know what I'm saying, like a commercial activity. Driving is a commercial activity. Traveling is a private right. You know what I'm saying? It's not a privilege. Driving is a privilege. When you go down to the motor vehicle and you apply for a license and all that, you're asking, can I have a privilege to drive? And they say, here you go. Take this license and basically overlook your natural right to travel. Because we basically incorporating you, we're making money off you. And then we're going to turn this ID that we give you, or this license that we give you, into an ID. And this is how we're going to gain jurisdiction over you through the state. See what I'm saying? This is what they do. So, you know, we got to do the knowledge. So what's going on in the society? Pardon me 1 second. But yeah, you know, so that's what they doing, you know what I'm saying? So, what was I saying before the, oh yeah, you the God, right? So, just now, I went into the library where the lies are buried. And every day I be digging up the lies, because you know what's under those lies? The truth. You know what I'm saying? The truth lies beneath all the bullshit. So, peace, Crystal Dutton. Peace to my fam. Peace, peace, peace. How you doing? See you in the building. That's what's up. You know, yeah. Like I was continuing to drop that knowledge, man. Like, yo, we indigenous, man. We indigenous, man. All of our families, all of our peoples, we indigenous, you know. And I'm working on some things right now to unite the family in a way where we can make an indigenous claim, because that's what all the families need to do. All the original people, the Aboriginal people, we need to start reclaiming all of our lands, all of our towns, all these towns that we live in. All of our families live in these towns. We've been in these towns for years, and we are the original people. We indigenous to these lands, so we need to start putting claims on these lands as the indigenous people. You know what I'm saying? And doing that for the purpose of reclaiming the land, putting it in trust. You know what I'm saying? In our names, in our redefine names. You know, like I was mentioning earlier about like people like Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali. Our part of stuff, Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali changed his name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali because he knew that this was the way that they were enslaving us, by putting their last names on us. You know, the so-called slave masters, they enslaved us by putting their names on us. So that means that anything that we acquire in our lifetime with other people's names on us, foreigners' names on us, all of the wealth will go back to the foreigners who own us because they put their names on us. And what's so significant about the name? Through the name, they formulate trust. And through a trust, all the assets that they acquire are held in trust. And when they hold these things in trust, they're able to they're basically able to accumulate wealth and keep wealth within their family. So what do we need to do? We need to establish trust. What are trusts? Trusts are basically legal documents that state that you have assets held in a security agreement, and these assets cannot be liened upon, or they can't be taken away, or they can't be confiscated or anything like that, because they are held in trust. So we don't know about this because the science of maintaining wealth has been kept from us. You know, and I'll just break it down real quickly. You know, you have trust, right? If you take your assets and hold them in trust, then you can keep wealth in your family for generations. So, for example, right, you establish a trust right now, and your children are the beneficiaries of your trust. So all the assets that you acquire, your house, your car, your coin collection, your fine china, silverware, all the things of value that you have, you know what I'm saying? Your electrical devices, you know, your big screen TV. You want to take the receipt and the certificate of manufacturing. You know, get that number off of there, you know what I'm saying, and put that in there and label it in your schedule. At the end of a trust, there's what's called a schedule. A schedule is where you label all the assets that you're going to put in this trust. And once you have these assets held in trust, they're protected. And so you pass on all the things that you acquired in your lifetime, you pass on to your children. Then your children pass on everything that you acquired and everything that they acquired onto their children. And their children acquired pass on everything you acquired, their parents acquired, and they acquired onto their children. Now you got like 3 or 4 generations of wealth held in trust that's being passed on to your families. You know what I'm saying? So this is how you keep wealth in the family, through trust. You understand? We was just taught to just, you know, keep spending things, and we think we own things, but we don't own it. If we own a house and we fail to pay the property taxes on the house, the state can come and take they'll come and take the house. The bankers, the banksters, you know what I'm saying, the banksters, because what they've done is they've securitized the homes. Securitize the homes, meaning you used to own your home through a lodial title, through a lodial claim, which means a blood right, an heirship right, a right because you're on the land, and a right because, you know, you've had this land and this home in your house and your family for generations. You used to own your home, but now the banks have come in and they securitize the homes, meaning they basically, you know, taking the land, basically. You know, taking these homes, and now they sell them to you because how they get these homes? Through interest, through liens, through leaning. They lean on properties. So for example, if you fall back on your taxes, then someone can come and pay the delinquent property taxes, and then they come and they have ownership of the home, or they could acquire ownership. They could have you evicted, move you out, and then move in and claim ownership of the home because you failed to pay your taxes. Then the house goes into foreclosure. So now, if that's possible to happen, do you actually own the house? If you owned it by lodial title, there'd be no such thing as foreclosure, no such thing as a mortgage. You know what I'm saying? And mort means to gauge or to agree, and mortgage, mort means debt, mort means debt, and gauge means to agree. So a mortgage means that you agree to the debt, you agree to be in debt, you agree to pay this debt, you agree to you agree to keep paying off this house for the next 30, 40 years until you damn near 60, and then you could say, I finally own this house, I paid it off, I'm damn near like 85 years old, and now I finally own this house. And really, you still don't own that shit, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, take that house and put it under a trust. Take that business that you have and put it under trust. Take that car that you have and put it under trust. What kind of trust? I don't know exactly right now, because there's like over 80 different trusts. So you have to study trust and figure out what type of trust exactly that you want to deal with. Not necessarily would you put those type of things under a family trust. I thought it would be a family trust, but somebody told me that nah, it's not a family trust, and she's supposed to be like, you know, real skilled and, you know, in this area, whatever. So I'm gonna build with this individual that told me that, and get some more information about that so I can give it to the people. So yeah, so it's about trust, man. You want to hold the wealth in your family through trust. You know what I'm saying? Because we are the indigenous people. We are the original people of the land. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, all of these foreigners that are on the land now, they come here and they operate in commerce. See what I'm saying? They come here to operate in commerce, but they're not indigenous to the land. You know what I'm saying? They come from other lands, not necessarily this land. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, let us not fall for the story of slavery, that they say, oh yeah, 400 some years ago, your people, we brought them over here from Africa and and we enslaved you and blah blah blah, and now that's it, and you're just gonna be slaves for the rest of your life, and that's it, niggers. Like, nah, we had a long history before that. You know what I'm saying? We were doing many things before that. You know what I'm saying? And they just want to limit our history and tell us that, yeah, we only come from Africa, like the God degree in 1 to 14. Why does the devil teach our people that we are so-called Africans? What a part of stuff, why does the devil call our people so-called Africans? Answer, to make our people of North America believe that the people of that continent are the only people we have and are all savage. And that the people on that continent are the only people we have and are all savage. He brought a trading post to the jungles of that continent. The original people live on that continent. They are the ones who have strayed away from civilization and are living a jungle way of life. The original people called this continent Asia, but the devil tried to call it Africa to divide them. He wants us to think we are all different. Pardon me if I misquoted that degree. It's kind of choppy, pardon self. Um, but yeah, so the science in that degree, I always give an example to break down that degree. I always give the example of uh, Coming to America, that movie Coming to America, where you seen how the when Eddie Murphy was about to have his first, well, Akeem was about to have his first wedding, but that's not the woman he necessarily wanted to marry. And before they brought in, the dude did the song, "She's your queen to be, a vision of perfection." But yeah, what I'm saying? He did his thing on the song and all that, right? So she came in and everything. But you notice before the queen had came in, right? They had a more so of a jungleistic tribe that came out and did the dance and did the ceremonial dance and everything to bring in the queen, right? But for now, and I mention that because now you can see a difference between the tribes. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, they were more so of a jungleistic tribe. You can see the way they were dancing, the woo, and the energy and so forth that were giving off. That was more so pertaining to more of a jungleistic tribe. And then you seen the other people standing around, they more so like suited up, and they were, oh yeah, fine, rare vintage, you know what I'm saying? And they were like drinking wine, and they was, drinking, whatever, and they were all, noble and everything, and they were all, standing all, prestigious and everything. So I guess you would consider them to be more civilized than the jungleistic tribe, right? So going back to the degree, how the degree says, why does the devil call our people so-called Africans? Answer: to make our people of North America, the ones who are here in North America, being that we've been trapped off from our homeland and given a false vision of the world through the television or the tell-lie vision, where they're telling lies to your vision, all day. And so now we think that the only people in Africa, they're just all in the jungle and they're all savage and they're all, that's because what you see on TV, the tell-lie vision, where they're telling lies to your vision. So, we don't know that we are actually civilized people all over the planet. You know what I mean? So, we're given false visions. So to make our people in North America believe that the people of that continent are the only people we have and are all savage, and to say that as if we don't have original people all over the planet. You got original people that are melanated all over this planet, come in many different shades. This woman right here, she's a melanated woman. She's original. You know what I'm saying? She may not be considered so-called black, what they call black. Hey, was that a black woman? Yeah, that was a black woman. That was a melanated woman right there. She don't know she may not know she's a melanated woman, or quote unquote a black woman. You know what I'm saying? But she's original. All these people you see with a melanin are original. You know what I'm saying? Or have their degree of originality. You know what I'm saying? And you see how what just happened, how the sister, she's rolling with all of them. But anyway, I ain't gonna go there. But they keep us around them but treat us like outcasts. And you see them all grouped up. See? And she just bared witness to that. So she left off. And you see how they addressed her? Yo, don't disrespect that girl. If y'all hanging out with her, don't be disrespecting her.
Okay, come on, let's go.
You heard?
Me and the boys running to fishing.
Yeah. Anyway. But so this is what be taking place, man. We as the original people, we be getting used by all these non-original people, and they keep us around to mock us and to try to gain our style and watch our style and feed off of us and eat off our originality. But then they want to try to disrespect us to hide the fact of what they're actually doing, telling lies, stealing, and trying to master the original man. See what I'm saying? So this is what they was taught to do. And and this is what's been taught to many different people. So you see what's going on in America as well. The science is trying to keep the black man on the bottom of the totem pole, the economic totem pole, the social totem pole. You know what I'm saying? The political totem pole. In every other area. You know what I'm saying? And although through nature other people might try to bond with us and act like they're cool, but being that they're brainwashed and their mind is running and functioning in this matrix, they'll turn on you in any second. So don't think that these people actually accept you, man, and don't think that these people actually your friends You know what I'm saying? Because, oh, no, I could say that they're your friends, because actually, like Brother Polite said, a friend is one you're willing to invest in. So if a friend is one you're willing to invest in, then yeah, they'll invest in you, but they'll also divest in you, meaning they'll invest time, and they might even invest money into you, but they're gonna get something out of you, which is what? The originality that they don't possess. They want your soul, bro. You know what I'm saying? They want your soul, black man, black woman, black child. Beware. You know what I'm saying? You are that original natural source. You know how to survive. You know how to do all things in nature and everything. So understand who you are. You are that original source. Everybody leeches off of you in society, in nature, on the planet. You know what I'm saying? So know that and know your worth. Know your worth. Because they do, because all of them, they know it. But they ain't going to tell you that. Or they, you know what I'm saying? Because they want to keep you blind to who you are so they can master you. You understand? So wake up, man. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Oh yeah, and going back to my point, right? I went on a tangent just in a little hot minute. Going back to coming to America, right? And the God degree I was breaking down. So the junglist, like I said, it says he bought a trading post to the jungles of that continent. The original people live on that continent. They are the ones who have strayed away from civilization and are living a jungle way of life. The original people call this continent Asia, but the devil calls it Africa to try and divide them. He wants to make us think we are all different. He wants us to think we are all different. So, you know, like I said, he bought a trading post to the jungles of that continent. So therefore, if he bought a trading post to the jungles of that continent, then that means that the parts of that continent he knew was the jungles. You know what I'm saying? Good day, miss. The parts of that continent he knew, peace. The parts of that continent he knew was the jungles. So he brought back that story and said, oh, you know, these people are in the jungle and blah 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 and all of that type shit. You know what I'm saying? And he knew that wasn't the case. But like I say, the false projection of what they try to teach us, like Tarzan and all of that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They make us think that Africa's a jungle and people are swinging from trees and, you know, and climbing trees and swinging from vines and all that type of crazy mess. But that's not the science. That's not the truth. You know what I'm saying? Now, are there jungles in Africa? Yeah, there are jungles in Africa. Is the whole Africa a jungle? No, of course not. Because, you know, you got the Sahara Desert. Yo, my fourth grade music teacher, Miss Osika, I'll never forget it. She showed like a little documentary about Africa and whatnot. And it was pertaining to music and whatnot, but it was also showing how Africa was basically industrialized. You know what I'm saying? Like there was many buildings, skyscrapers, and the architecture in Africa was like so great. Just like shitting on Africa, shitting on the architecture here in America and all of that. Like our architecture was and if you look at everything, of course, you know, a lot of architecture is, you know, Moorish, like you go in Europe and all of that, you see all the architecture of the Africans all throughout Europe. So just to show and prove to you, you know what I'm saying? They show links between the Peruvians and the Egyptians and the Olmecs as well, you know what I'm saying? So through the civilizations and whatnot, you know, there's also pyramids and mounds here in see that Moorish woman over there with her turban on. Yeah, you know what I mean? So Africa is the root of civilization of the whole planet, of the whole earth. So we all know that, you know what I'm saying? But everybody, like I say, in America, we got this nonsense going on where everybody wants to make themselves feel better or feel rich or feel better than the next person based upon what they have, their material objects, their material gain. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got a better car than you. I got a bigger house than you. Or I got more money than you. Or my job pays more than yours. Or, you know, blah, 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 blah. And all these isms and schisms that people are caught up in to make themselves feel like they're worth something because they don't really have that originality. And see, and that originality about so-called original people, black people, is so-called black people who are original people, melanated people. Our originality is a gift and a curse in this society. If we were in our natural habitat, then it wouldn't be a problem. But in this society where the world is like going against us, even the weather is against us. We're not in our natural weather. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that's necessarily against us, but it's just like not our natural habitat. So anything outside of its natural habitat is not going to function in its proper or full capacity. You know what I'm saying? So as far as and directly, I could give a contribution in that as far as the chakras. You know what I'm saying? If we was in the sun, in the hot sun of Africa, our chakra levels would raise and we'd be more illuminated, more elevated, more melanated, and all of that. So we be activating on a whole different level. You know what I'm saying? Show and prove on that. You know, when people go down south or they go to another, like one of the islands or something, right, and they get in that sun and they feeling good, they feel good, they get that sun. If they sick, they get cured. When they sometimes when they come back to America or back up north from down south, they get a cold, they get sick because it's a difference in the, not only because of difference in the weather, but that drastic difference in the weather causes a shift in the chakratic energy and the temperature of the chakras. You know what I'm saying? As to where your chakras cool down. You know what I'm saying? And hence your energy in your body and everything, your lymphatic system and everything is offset, and it causes sickness from within. Disease. You know what I'm saying? Dis-ease. You know what I'm saying? Causing dis-ease within. You know? So yeah. Back to Coming to America, right? For those of y'all still watching, that's peace. I hope y'all still with me. I'm going on little tangents here and there. You know, it's a lot of information I'll be trying to drop, so bear with me. So going back to North America, Coming to America, Jewel I was dropping, right? See all these different original peoples, all these different shades, features, phenotypes, haplog groups. You know what I'm saying? We come in all different genetic bases, but we know that original black is the dominant gene, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, bear witness. So, that's why we know that all things are going to dominate in the genetic gene pool, you know what I'm saying? And that's what, and like Francis Cress Welsing said, you know what I'm saying, so-called white people hate so-called black people so much, or their fear of us is because of fear of genetic annihilation. They know that we can genetically annihilate them. So when the white man is always saying the black man has a gun, it's not the gun that he has, it's his penis. And if you turn it on its lateral, it's shaped like a gun. The bullets are in the testicles. That's the clip of the gun. The testicles, where all those sperm cells are held, where all those black babies are held. Which once shot through the shaft of the gun or the penis or the barrel of the gun, then it goes into the vaginal of that so-called any other race that's so-called non-black, then that baby's going to come out more so black than it is that other non-black race, because the black is the dominant gene. So they know that. They're going to keep their daughters far away from the black man as they can, or far away from the black woman as they can, because they know that the genetic dominance. So especially, like I say, in different areas of the planet, it was understood because we had our own culturalness and we stuck amongst our own cultures, and it wasn't a hater-rater thing, because we respected each other. But in America, we got the white man's racism that we got to deal with. So everybody's taught to act all racist toward each other and hate each other because of our differences. You know what I'm saying? Instead of love each other based upon our similarities. You know what I'm saying? Which we used to do. But, you know, when you got somebody who's like at the opposite end of the spectrum, who's the last man or last people on the planet, they gonna by nature have a defense mechanism. You know what I'm saying? Subconscious. Some of them may not even realize it within themselves, but as they get older, they start to realize it within themselves because of their nature. Nature is your best teacher. Nature is going to tell you about yourself. So, you know, this is just reality. So therefore, they subconsciously will have like a hate against those who have that originality, or those who have that survival tactic or instinct, and they don't have it, so they're mad. So they'll create a system where they can just leech off of these original people who have all this originality and survival instinct and tactic, and then it'll seem like, oh no, we're not doing that. We have the NBA. These people are getting paid millions of dollars to entertain us. You got the NFL, they're getting paid millions of dollars to entertain us. Oh no, you got Black Lives Matter, they're getting assistance programs and to run around and talk about how we're killing them in the streets and they ain't gonna do nothing about it. And yeah, and and you know, keep running around here marching up and down the street and talking about this, that, and the third, and yeah. So it's a matrix, it's a game, y'all. It's a game, y'all. It's a game, y'all. It's a game. Wake up, see the game. It's game. You know how somebody like shame on a nigga who try to run game on a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's a game, y'all. So see the game. Don't get caught up in the game. Don't just think like, oh yeah, you know, because they said, you know, like the weatherman could say it's gonna be sunny today and then it'd be rainy all day. Like they say a lot of things, but you gotta see the reality. You can't go off of what they say. You know what I'm saying? Do the knowledge for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Once you do the knowledge for yourself, then you know how to act wisely upon what you did the knowledge to. You know what I'm saying? You know, so yeah, man, that's the science, man. Well, yeah. So finally going back to Coming to America, right? So let me finally get back to it. So, all right now, Coming to America. Yeah, like I was saying, I was breaking down the difference between the so-called jungleistic tribe and the more so civilized tribe or whatever of people that was, you know, like I said, it was all dressed up and all looking all prestigious and everything, all regal and everything, royal and everything. So like I say, you seen the difference. So that just goes to show you that there was a difference of the cultures, you know what I'm saying, of the tribes and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, of people, and they were coming together in a marriage, so they were merging two tribes. Which showed that after that, that knowledge of the first tribe and the wisdom of the other tribe is going to born an understanding and the children that are produced from that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So that's the science on that. And, you know, so... Like I said, he brought a trading post to the jungles of that continent. The original people live on that continent. They are the ones who have strayed away from civilization to live in a jungle way of life. Now, they could be referring to the jungleistic tribes as if they strayed away from civilization. But however, who's to say that those in the jungle were uncivilized? Because they had their own civilization within the jungle. But who called it savage? The Caucasian called it savage. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't understand it, so he called it savage. And when they did get on their rah-rah jungleistic shit, the white man couldn't handle that shit. So he was like, oh hell no, man, let me get the fuck up out of here. They dealing with the old rishis. They calling down the Netters and the Netteroos. They calling on the spiritual energies and shit. They with that voodoo and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, like yeah, man. So he couldn't handle that, yo. So he didn't understand it. So he stereotyped it. And he said it was it's jungleistic. They're savages. They're this or that. But meanwhile, who was the actual savage? Was they coming through your towns or wherever you was? And killing you by the millions or thousands or whatever, and taking over your land and this and that and doing this and the third? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Like, that wasn't happening. And now, you got to understand, too. Now, let's talk about so-called slavery, right? And the difference, right? And I like to break down this perspective of it. There was indentured servitude going on in Africa, and there still is indentured servitude in Africa. And now there's even hardcore slavery going on in Africa and different places all over the planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? But there's always been indentured servitude in Africa. And what I mean by that is where, you know, certain tribes, they had tribal wars. They had territorial wars. And whatever tribe was stronger and they fought and they warred and, you know what I'm saying, and whoever won, the other tribe became subject to them. Or the other tribe became their subject, yeah, you know, they're prisoners of war or whatever case may be, you know what I'm saying, became their slaves, if anything, you know what I'm saying, anything, you know what I'm saying, but it wasn't slaves in the sense of how you see slavery going on today. Like I say, they had indentured servitude where the other tribe was like, you know what I'm saying, like they knew what's up. It's kind of like yo, you know what's up, you know we're stronger than y'all, we beat y'all can't see us, so y'all gotta kind of do, we running the shit, we setting up the government, and y'all gotta follow our government and how we see things, and you know what I'm saying, and so forth and all of that. So you know what I'm saying, but and then the other tribe would have been in servitude to them, so they might have had to field the land or do this or do that or whatever case may be, blah blah blah. But they wasn't treated inhumanely. They were still treated with their own dignity. They were still to have their own living quarters, and they weren't like, you know, ramshacked and all of that and this and that third. And in some situations, more so too, you know, after we were so-called getting freed as so-called black people here in America, we had to go back and buy some of our own people out of slavery. So wasn't that crazy? And it was crazy because actually technically we wasn't buying them out of slavery. We was actually buying them as slaves, like to say that, oh, I bought this person from this slave master and then he's my slave or she's my slave. But actually you was taking them out literally in your true sense. You was taking them out of slavery because you wasn't going to treat them like a slave. You was taking them from the other slave master so you could bring them back to your family and then y'all could be family again. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, so it was like that, and like I say, the people were treated with a level of dignity and so forth. They weren't treated inhumane. So it's kind of similar to like I give the example of like Jeffrey on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Master Williams. You know what I'm saying? How he treated everybody with respect and everything, but he was like the servant. He was the one doing the laundry. He was doing the dishes. He was cleaning up around the house. He was doing this and doing that and everything. And but he had his own sleeping headquarters. He could eat anything he wanted. He was welcome to anything in the house. He was, you know what I'm saying? He was like family there. And so he's like part of the family. But he had his duties though. He had his certain things that he had to do. So that's similar to how that was, you know what I'm saying? How we as a people conducted things. You know what I'm saying? But the so-called white man, he took that shit to a whole nother level. So when he seen this indentured servitude that was going on in Africa and the slave trade and so forth that was going on, he got in on it. And before him, the Arabs was in on it and the Portuguese was in on it hard body. You know what I'm saying? So all these so-called Muslims running around, or black people claiming that they're Muslims, like, you know, like Arabic Muslims, running around here dyeing they beard red and running around here wearing these damn dresses, you know what I'm saying, all the way down to the ankles and all that. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, yo, be yourself. That's not our culture, man. And even though I know it says in the culture degree in the 1 to 14 that Arabia is a root of civilization, the holy city of Mecca and all of that, like, nah, I don't know about all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because due to my study, we've done deeper study, and we know before there was Mecca, there was places like such as Nubia, Kush, what they call today Ethiopia, and empires way before what they're calling. I lost my point. But anyway, so. Oh yeah. So back to the indentured servitude. So yeah, and the Arabs and all that. So understand that's not our culture, and Arabia and all that ain't the root of civilization. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and so back to modern day. Matter of fact, let's bring in modern day. Like I was saying, man, so-called black people, we need to realize, man, we know what we need to do. We need to declare nationality. How we declare nationality? On a national level, we're gonna come together and do it on a collective, because we all been separated by all these different religions, and I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm an Israelite, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Jehovah's Witness, I'm a this, I'm a that, and yeah, all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? So. Not knowing that we the true and living gods, you know what I'm saying, following the traditions of our ancestors, knowing who we are, knowing who we gonna be, and that's just what it is. But this matrix, that's present day matrix we living in, they got us caught up, prisoners of war behind enemy lines, and dealing with what we dealing with. So like I say, if we want to get back to the point where we more sufficient as a people, then we have to declare nationality. Now, how do we declare nationality? By us collectively declaring a condition, stating a condition, like as to where we could say like, and I'll give you an example, just like how the Moors or the Mormons or the Jews have done. They have, or the so-called Israelites, you know what I'm saying, who are not the true Israelites, as we know, and you can ask all them brothers that be out there on the corner, we the Israel, you Israelite brother, we the Israelites, and all that. No disrespect to them brothers, but I always say, man, y'all need to declare nationality, and not even just y'all, because there are Israelites that have done that. There are Israelites that have declared nationality, and they actually have land in Israel. So if anything, they're manifesting that biblical prophecy, you know what I'm saying, so forth, and taking that into their actual hands. Because if not, what's gonna happen? Look at this shit going on with the president. They're supposed to be inaugurating this whole thing about Israel and all of that, and claiming him as an independent state or whatever the hell. Wasn't they supposed to already have been done that or whatever? But anyway, I guess America bear witness to that, and that's only to swindle, because now they about to just use that as another manipulation tool. You know, using the religion as a tool. You know what I'm saying? To manipulate the people and be like, oh yeah, Israel and and the Bible and this and that and blah 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 blah. Y'all just want to destabilize whatever independence they may have had. So if they want to get on their own, because them Jews is on their own shit, they run shit in their own shit. They on some real nationalism shit, like where they stick with their own type shit, And like I say, nationalism, there's nothing wrong with. There's nothing wrong with nationalism. See how crazy these people are, man. Damn, no, almost crashed right there, man. Driving all crazy. Yeah. But yeah, man. So it's nothing wrong with how said. Dr. Amos Wilson. He said. Claude Anderson. He said. Dr. Claude Anderson. He said, ain't nothing wrong with racism. We just never had a chance to practice it. So in other words, like how you see all these different groups of people and they only buy from their own, they only spend amongst their own, they only gonna share and do amongst their own and build up their own communities. That's called nationalism. But in America, it gets turned into racism. Like I said, we got the Caucasian white man's racism here that we got to deal with. So now, what people would call just simply nationalism or pride in their own people, it turns into a racism, because now you feel like you got to be in competition with other people, or you got to hate against other people, or so forth and so forth. I'll give you a prime example. If you be on your job and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, and you see different. I'm gonna just put it like this. You see a group of people that they speak their own language, right? You don't necessarily speak their language, but they speak their own language, right? So they'll look at you like you're the outsider. Meanwhile, your people, black people, we done built this country, we done did so much work, and we done paved the way for everybody else to even come over here, you know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King and all that, civil rights movement and all that, yada, yada, yada. We done did all of that, you know what I'm saying? We done did all the marches. Where was all these, and da-da-da, and I'm from here and I'm from there people, and I'm this and I'm that people, when we was fucking marching and getting dog sicked on us, and our people was fucking getting shot down and killed in the street and all that shit, trying to protest and march for some fucking rights and shit, for shit to be fucking equal and fair how it's supposed to be. Where the fuck was all these other people at? They wasn't around. These niggas wasn't nowhere to be found. But now that everything is settled in and things, certain legislations have been passed and things are going on where certain people are supposed to have equal rights, who comes in and gets these equal rights? The people who come in through a green card or something and they declare a certain nationality. Now, by them having a nationality, they're automatically given rights to the Constitution, because they're not considered a ward of the state. Wards of the state are those who don't have a nationality, a group of people who they belong to, who they can claim a heritage or a belonging to. Once again, another characteristic of nationality, peace, is the quality or character of belonging to a nation. So your quality or character of belonging to a nation is that, so like I said, your customs, your culture, your language, your everyday, as Dr. Khalid said, your folk ways and mores, so these are all the things that define your nationality or would distinguish your nationality. So, like I say, it's nothing wrong with people being proud of their nation or where they come from, but when they come to America or the so-called United States and they get caught up in this commercialism, because remember, the so-called European who's not actually native to Europe, he's not native to anywhere on this planet, he's grafted. He's a scientific laboratory experiment. He's grafted from your weaker gene. Black man within a black man. Tell us what and how the devil is made. Understand the cipher degree in the 1 to 40. You know what I'm saying? Within a black man there exists 2 germs. One a black germ and one a brown germ. Yaqub with his law on birth control separated the brown germ from the black man and grafted it into a white. By following this process for 600 years, he separated pardon me. With his law on birth control, damn, pardon self, God, I'm choppy on that degree. I'm messing up, y'all. Pardon me. Let me bring it back. Tell us what and how devil is made. Yes. Yes. Tell us what and how devil is made. Answer. The devil is made from the original man by grafting or separating the germs. Within the black man there exist two germs, one a black germ, one a brown germ. Yaqub with his law on birth control separated the brown germ from the black man and grafted it into a white germ. By following this process of 600 years, the germ became white and weak and was no longer original. Also by thinning the original blood, the germ became weak and was no more the same. Thus, this is the way Yaqub grafted the devil or made the devil. So basically, it was by a grafting of the gene, taking it from the original state to a non-original state. You know what I'm saying? So as to where the people on the planet used to be a black, but by this separating of the genes and grafting, because check it, it's like this, right? Within the black man, there's two genes, right? Two germs. A germ is a gene. So the black germ and the brown germ. So you can't destroy the black gene. So only way to try to get rid of it is try to kill the black gene. So the Yaqub with his law on birth control, he was killing the black babies, saving the brown babies, and telling the mother, just going back to the wisdom bill degree, what rules and regulations, including all laws enforced by manufacturing the devil, you know what I'm saying, where Yaqub was having the babies fed to wild beasts, you know what I'm saying, or have the nurse stick a needle in the head and kill the baby, you know what I'm saying. If it was a black baby, they would kill the baby. If it was a brown baby, they would save the baby, and they tell the mother that the baby was a holy baby, that she should take good care of the baby, educate it, and one day it will grow to be a great man. But kill all the black babies, you know what I'm saying, and tell the mother that her baby was an angel baby. One day when the baby dies, and one day when the mother dies, her son will have secured her home in heaven. You know what I'm saying? So he was teaching of this mystery God and the mystery heaven, and also teaching that the brown baby was better than the black baby. This is before slavery, y'all. This is before slavery, because we know during slavery they use these same tactics. You know what I'm saying? And this is where it stems from, the teachings of the father of the devil, which was Yaqub. Yaqub was the original black man and was the father of the devil. He taught them to do this devilishment. So like even during slavery, you would see how they teach the same thing. We treat the black child bad and treat the lighter child better. You know what I'm saying? Because, oh, look, my baby came out brown. Oh, my baby, look, he almost looked white. Look at his hair. His hair. That's because, goddamn it, your baby, you was raped by the damn white man, and that's why your baby came out all light and so-called fine hair. That ain't so-called fine hair. That's 7 or 6 ether hair. That's supposed to be 8 or 9 ether hair, kinky. You know what I'm saying? But it's been straightened because it's been mixed, diluted, and tampered with by mixing the gene pools with these devils. So that's what took place. Sorry to say it, y'all, but that's just the reality, And I don't mean to offend nobody. If anybody's listening, that may be of that. But yo, the truth is the truth, man. I just gotta teach it what it is, man. And the reason why the world is so confused and mad, because we don't know the truth. You know what I'm saying? We know the truth by nature, but we want to believe in the lie we've been told in the Matrix. So basically, like, you go to school and your kids are being taught that Christopher Columbus discovered America. But we know damn well you can't discover a place where there's already people inhabiting the land and been inhabiting the land for thousands of years before some damn Christopher Columbus and any of his people came. You see what I'm saying? So that's just like a common sense fact. But once again, the Matrix teaches in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. And blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And this is the nonsense that they're teaching us. So the only way, like I say, you know what I'm saying, we gotta, our kids go to school and get brainwashed. When they come home from school, we gotta wash their brains. You know what I'm saying? Because they're teaching us lies. So the lies that they're teaching us is like, yo, we should believe in the false. We should believe in all the propaganda. You know what I'm saying? But overlook the realness. You know, so that's why you got like these fake rappers out here and all that, all this fakeness out here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to sound like talking about shit they ain't even doing, or something that sounds good and sounds, you know, all fly, but in reality it ain't even real. That's not what you're doing. So, you know what I mean? We just gotta kind of bring it back to reality, bring it back to the real. And I'm getting a little hungry, y'all, so I'm about to go in here, eat this food, and finish digging up these lies in the library where the lies are buried, and discovering the truth, you know? And with that, I'm gonna say peace to the family, peace to the original people, and I'm gonna continue this in a little bit, y'all, when I come out the library where the lies are buried. I gotta dig up some truth, y'all. Peace.